he finished? Kevin, am I back to host?
You're not yet.
Yeah, I'm doing it right
Oh,
now.
okay.
1 moment.
Yeah.
Well, let me know.
Stacy, you're back to host. I'm going to be leaving. Max
Thank
is going to
you.
assist you. You're welcome.
All right, great, great. All right, it looks like we have 37 already participants in the room this morning. Good to see everybody back at it. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend and a nice holiday if you celebrate.
Nice to see you back too. I hope you're well.
Thank you, I'm much better.
Thank you. Hope you're much better.
Thank you. Good to see everybody. There's Ed by the Sea. That's my new name for you, Ed. Ed by the Sea. The best background. All righty. 39. I'm going to go ahead and get started with my slides. So I'm going to share my screen here. All right, here we go. Good morning and welcome to Morning Fitness. Today's class is seated strength training. Okay, that doesn't work here. I am your guide. My name is Stacy. I am from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. I have a master's degree in counseling psychology, and I worked for many years in the school systems in Maryland as a school counselor. I retired back up to my hometown in Pennsylvania some years ago and have a very small private practice in mental health counseling. But I have been teaching fitness both in a group setting and as a personal trainer, also as a club manager and a gym owner since the mid-1980s. And I do love connecting with other adults who are interested in maintaining their fitness and their wellness as we age independently and continue to be able to do the things we love. Get Set Up is a platform that helps you learn useful things from people just like yourselves so that you too can do all sorts of wonderful things. We learn from each other, so ideally you'll let me see you and others in the class. So if you want to, you can have your cameras turned on. You can request a recording after class by emailing help@getsetup.io. And if you're joining by the live stream on our website, we welcome you. And know that the best way to participate is to join us and register for a class. And that way you'll get the email after class, you'll have the opportunity to provide feedback, and you'll be able to request a copy of the recording. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Nope. It's not working. There we go. Be sure to check with your doctor prior to starting any new exercise program, especially if you have any health conditions or take any medications. And what's also really very important is that if your doctor has given you some specific instructions or limitations regarding your exercise intensity, like how hard you're working, or the range of motion in movement, especially those with weights, please follow your doctor's recommendations and not any recommendations that I am providing or anything that I'm demonstrating or talking about. I'm going to go ahead and make myself now spotlight. I'm also going to mute everybody. That way we won't have background noise. And you can see my setup there. Just a little reminder, today's class is a seated weight training class. Seated classes are designed to be done seated. So it's not the sort of thing where I might say, hey, if you can do this standing up, go ahead. It's really not like that. So this is a seated class. It's designed to be done seated. The one thing that we have added to the seated weight training class is the optional use of throw pillows to support your back as we do some of our exercises at a 45-degree forward lean. And rather than just holding your back in that position, you can lean on throw pillows and it'll make it more comfortable for you. So if you have some throw pillows or bed pillows that you can grab to just have on hand, go ahead and do so. And the recommended weights at this point are 1-pound weights, 2-pound weights, or 3-pound weights, depending on your fitness level, experience with weights, and your own personal goals about weight training. And be sure you have some water handy and available. I recommend drinking every 10 to 15 minutes during any fitness class. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and begin. I'm going to go over to my chair. I think you can see me here and hear me. I'm going to have a little bit of a sip of water before we begin. So the optimal position for the seated workout is about midpoint from the back of the chair to the front edge of the chair would be where you would comfortably sit your bottom. Have your thighs facing forward, coming directly out from your hip bones, making your knees approximately a hip width apart. The angle of the bend of your knee to the floor right here is a 90-degree angle. Feet are on the floor facing forward so that your knees are directly over the middle of your feet, like between toes 2 and 3. All right? So once you're seated, let's take a nice inhale so we can begin to warm up our body and let it know that we are about to work out, bringing some fresh oxygen all the way into our muscles. Letting them know, hey, we're about to give you all a workout. Inhale up and release. Let's lean forward, elbows on the knees right here. Reach forward with your right arm at whatever reach is comfortable for you. If it is a bent elbow reach, that is fine. Just reach forward and swim slowly around to the side and the back. Reach forward with the same arm and swim like you're doing the breaststroke around to the back. We are working on the range of motion in our shoulder right now. Reach forward and swim around to the back. And reach forward. This is number 4. We're going to do 5 of these. Swim slowly around to the back. And one more. Reach forward and swim slowly around to the back. And before we're finished with this right arm, let's reach down to the ankle and up to the ceiling and allow your torso to twist. Your eyes follow your hand, your fingertips. Relax and wiggle your fingers. And return back down, fingertips down toward your ankle. Notice I say toward, because if you can't reach that far, it's okay to be wherever you are with that reach today. So reach toward the ankle, but be happy where you are, and all the way up to the ceiling, twisting the rib cage diaphragm, but keeping your hips firmly planted in the chair. Does that change how far you can twist if you keep your hips down? Does that make a difference? Feel more stretch along the side of the body. Wiggle those fingers and release the stretch. And one more time. Down to the ankle, reach up to the ceiling, allow your eyes to follow. Firmly plant your hips in the chair, feet flat on the floor, and feel that upper body twist right here. And release. Let's work on the left shoulder. Reaching forward to wherever is comfortable for you and swim your arm around to the back. Reach forward. We're going to do 5 of these. So this is number 2, and swim around to the back. And reach forward. Swim that arm around to the back. Give it whatever range of motion you're comfortable with. Maybe each one is a little bigger for you. Reach forward and swim that arm slowly and gently around to the back. Notice if there are any creaks, any clicking in your shoulder, or any sticking points. And if there are, back off a little bit. I don't recommend working through those things that are making sounds. Sometimes those are warning signs. So take it smaller and more slowly through those. Round to the back. I think we have just one more to make it 5. Reach forward and swim slowly around to the back. And now we're going to reach down toward the ankle. Remember, you're still supporting your torso in this lean with your other arm, supporting yourself, leaning across your knees right here. Reach down to the ankle and up to the ceiling, keeping your hips firmly planted. Wiggle those fingers. Let your eyes gaze up at your hand and release. We're doing 3 of these. That was number 1. Here comes another one. Reach up to the ceiling. Wiggle those fingers. Seat your hips. And release. Notice if one side or the other allows you a better stretch. Is one side tighter or looser? Reach down to the ankle and up toward the ceiling. Wiggle those fingers, hold that gaze, feel your hips planted in the chair, make sure you're breathing, and release. Woo! Wonderful. And press yourselves back up into the seated position using the hands right here above the knees and press back up. Let's inhale and exhale. Let me see your arms and hands right out in front, and we're going to take and hold our palms this way. Palms are up, hands are cupped as if you were accepting a cup of sugar, and then I want you to just dump it out. And turn them over to accept a cup of sugar and dump it out. Hands over, accept a cup of sugar, dump it out. And now sweep it away. Sweep it away. Sweep it away. 2 more. Sweep it away. Sweep it away. And let's just do some gentle wrist circles right here. Moving one way or the other. I think mine are coming in toward one another and then out. Fingertips in toward one another and out. And then let's reverse it. We're going to have those wrists in our hands. Or our weights in our hands. We want to warm up this area and just make sure that everything is good to go and that it's loosened and we have our synovial fluid warming up our joints and we are ready to go. So we're going to start with some upper back workout, and here's where we're going to use our pillow for support. I'm going to grab my 3-pound weights this morning Putting them right down here alongside my feet. And let's see. Oh, not pillow yet. That's right. I'm forgetting what I'm doing because it's been a week, right? Apologize for that. So we're going to start with our body leaning over our thighs. And what I want you to do is just grab a hold of those weights and then very slowly and carefully sit yourselves back up into a seated position, into an upright position, and your weights end right here by your knees. This is a seated deadlift. So we start in the low position right here, and we are just going to bring our back up to the upright position and then lower the weights, and we are hinging right here at the hip joints. So we're starting here, and we lift and return. Lift and return. So modify this exercise by using a lighter weight, using no weight, or using a very small range of motion. Maybe you only come halfway up and you feel it in your lower back. Then stop right there and return. That is perfectly okay. This exercise does work the mid and lower back area, an area of muscles that is notoriously weak. And so we do want to strengthen them, but we don't want to hurt them. So if that is a sore area for you and you frequently get low back pain, it may help you to strengthen the muscle, but I don't want you to hurt yourself trying to do these exercises. So go part way up. If that is a comfortable level for you and range of motion, that's perfectly okay, and lower. If you want to use more energy and you're feeling strong and it's okay with your back, lift all the way up to the sitting upright position and return. Let's do two more. I'm sorry I talked too much. And lift and return. One more. Lift and return. So now we're going to lift on one and then lower, 1, 2, 3. So let's do a couple of those. We're up quickly and then lower, 1, 2, 3. Lift quickly and lower, 1, 2, 3. Lift quickly and lower, 1, 2, 3. Lift quickly and lower, 1, 2, 3. Let's lift for 2 counts and return for 2 counts. So up for 2 and down for 2. Make sure you're not squeezing your weights. You only need to hold them strong enough to not drop them, or tightly enough. Up and down for 2. Last one, up for 2 and down for 2. Now we're going to lift for 3 and then lower quickly. So lift 1, 2, 3 and lower. Lift 1, 2, 3 and return. Lift 1, 2, 3 and lower. Last one, lift 1, 2, 3 and return. Using your hands with or without weights, just above your knees, press yourselves back up into a sitting position. And let's place the weights right here by your hips. And we're going to lift to the side and lower. Lift to the side and lower. Lift to the side and lower. Now we can modify these by doing them with a bent elbow. So you're lifting right here and the weights are being held in tighter to the body, closer to the body, puts much less stress and strain on your shoulder joints. So if you're comfortable right here, do it here. And here we go. Now I'd like you to use your pillows because we're going to do these exercises at 45 degrees. So the 45-degree lean and hold is not particularly comfortable. And in the gym, there is an incline bench that we can use for this exercise, which holds our body at 45 degrees. And then we can focus on the shoulder exercises without straining our back. So to modify in a chair, these pillows work great, except they're sliding a little bit today. So we are right here in the seated position, holding our hips hinged at 45 degrees. And I have the weights right here down by my side, and I want to just lift them to shoulder height and back down. And I want to really feel this in my mid back and in my shoulders. So if you're doing it like I'm demonstrating right now with the slightly bent elbows, I am feeling my shoulder blades slide together toward my spine. So lift and then lower, 1, 2, 3. Lift and lower, 1, 2, 3. Lift and lower, 1, 2, 3. Lift and lower, 1, 2, 3. Up for 2 and down for 2. Lift, up and down. Here we go. Lift, up and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. One more. Up for 2 and down. Let's lift slowly for 3 and then return on 1. So 1, 2, 3 and down. Feel the difference when we vary the counts. 1, 2, 3 and down. 2 more. 1, 2, 3 and down. Don't squeeze your weights. Last 1, 2, 3 and down. Nice. All right, I think we're finished with the pillow for the moment. I'm gonna just toss those aside. And I wanna do our good mornings. So we place the weights, if you're comfortable with this, or get lighter weights. The exercise is to simply hinge forward from the hips and return. Hinge forward and return. So the added weight on the shoulder is going to add additional stress to the muscles in the back that we are focused on this morning. So do this to your comfort level. Again, you don't need to do the full range of motion. A little bit of a bend and return is perfectly fine. So here it is in the full range of motion. I'm going as far as my hips will allow, and then I return. So down and lift, 1, 2, 3. Go forward, bring it up, 1, 2, 3. Go forward and lift, 1, 2, 3. Last one, forward, bring it back, 1, 2, 3. Let's go forward for 2 and return for 2. 1, 2 and up for 2. And forward, 2 and up, 2. Forward and up, forward and up. Now we're going to go forward for 3 and lift quickly on 1. So forward, 2, 3 and up, forward, 2, 3 and up, forward, 2, 3 and up. Last one, forward, 2, 3 and up. Great. We're going to do some additional shoulder work. Grab some drink, your water, if you have your water handy. All right. So sitting up nice and tall. Hips planted firmly in the chair, knees at 90 degrees, feet flat on the floor. We're going to lift to the side, bring the arms forward and return. Lift in front, open side and down. Lift side, bring the arms forward, down in front. Lift in front, open the arms side, and return to the hip level. Now remember, modify by doing this with a smaller range of motion. Shorten the arms, bend the elbows. You can do it right here. Lift, bring the arms forward and down. Lift in front, open side and down. Or if you feel like you have more energy in your elbow or in your elbows and shoulders can tolerate it, do with a fully extended arm. Lift, front and down. Lift, front, open side and down. Lift, forward, down in front. Lift in front, open side, and return to the hip level. Lift side, forward, down slowly. Be sure your chest is lifted and you're breathing. And remember, don't squeeze those weights. And open and down. Lift side. Bring the weights forward and down. One more time. Lift front. Open side and down. Let's do some biceps curls right here. So what I want you to do is turn so your palms are facing forward. And we're going to just bring the weights right up to the shoulders. Keep your elbows in tightly by your waist. Lift and return. Lift and return. So let's bring it up on one and lower. 1, 2, 3. Lift on 1, lower 1, 2, 3. Lift on 1 and lower 1, 2, 3. Lift on 1 and lower 1, 2, 3. How about up for 2 and down for 2? Up and down. And remember, with your biceps curls, it's nice to add a bit of a squeeze at the peak of the movement. So that means when you have your weights all the way up here by your shoulders and your elbows are tight by your side, squeeze a little bit in that biceps muscle to remind it who's boss, right? And down for 2. And up for 2 and down for 2. Up for 2 and down for 2. One more. Up for 2 and down for 2. Let's lift on 3 counts and lower quickly on 1. So 1, 2, 3, and return. 1, 2, 3, and return. 1, 2, 3, release. Last 1, 2, 3, and down. Nice. Let's bring those weights right here in by your shoulders, and I have my palms facing in toward one another, and I'm going to just alternatingly lift one over my head and then the other over my head. Now the proper placement for this weight is up here in the front of your peripheral vision. So look at me from the side. I don't have the weights back here by my ears, but they're a little bit in the front so that I can just keep them in my peripheral vision. This is for shoulder safety. And there's no reason to have them dangling back here where you can't really see them in your peripheral vision. And that puts additional stress and strain on your shoulders. And we don't want to do that. So alternating right up and back and left up and back. And again, only extend as far as your arm is comfortable with this extension, with this range of motion. It doesn't have to be very big. If you're comfortable right here with just at an eye level lift, keep it right here. All of this, regardless of the range of motion that you're comfortable with today, all of it is helping. It's strengthening the muscles. Wherever you are today in your fitness journey, a little bit of a workout with a little bit of a weight is better than where you were yesterday. And that's what we have to keep in mind. Our fitness and wellness is a journey, and it's ongoing throughout our lives. So remember to do just a little bit of something every day. Keep yourselves healthy. So we're pressing up overhead, alternating overhead presses is what these are called. We're alternating our arms, right and then left. There's your right side and your left. Nice and slow. Right side and left. Right side and left. Right side and left. And let's bring the arms back down where we had them at the beginning of our biceps curls. And we're going to compound that movement by doing a biceps curl and then pressing overhead, alternating like this. So curl to your shoulder, press overhead, bring it back down, and return to the starting position, palm forward. So as I bring it up here, my palm is facing my shoulder, the back of my hand is facing forward. And as I go up overhead, my arm twists just slightly so that in the overhead position, my palms are facing inward. Back down and return. Other side, up, overhead, back down and return. Squeeze, right, overhead, press, return, release to your hip level, left, bring it up, press overhead, don't squeeze your weights, bring it back to your shoulders and down to the hip. Other side, up, press, return and down, left, up, overhead press, return and down. One more, right and left, up, overhead, return and down, left, up, overhead, return and down. Excellent. What I want you to do in this position with your weights right here down by your hips, back of the hands facing forward, elbows coming up nice and high. We're pulling them up, pulling the weights up into your armpits. And return. Sit up nice and tall. Chest is lifted. You are breathing. Shoulders down. Don't squeeze your shoulders up by your ears on this one. I want you to just focus on working the muscles in your shoulder, but not squeezing them up by your ears. So lift and return. Lift and return. Lift and return. Let's do them with our counts changing. So up on one and lower. 1, 2, 3. Pull up 1, lower 1, 2, 3. Up on 1, lower 1, 2, 3. Lift and lower 1, 2, 3. Up for 2 and down for 2. Up 1, 2 and lower. Breathe up 1, 2 and lower. Lift 1, 2 and lower. And lift for 2 and lower. Lift for 3 and then lower on 1. So 1, 2, 3 and down. Lift 1, 2, 3 and down. Lift 1, 2, 3 and down. Last one. 1, 2, 3 and down. Very nice. We're going to work with just one weight now, starting with your right arm. Give me one side of a goalpost. If you remember from some of my other workouts, when we hold our arms up like this in a bent elbow position, palms facing forward, I call this goalpost arms. But we're just going to use half of the goalpost this morning, starting with the right arm. I want you to take this weight and cross body down to the left, keeping the elbow bent. So you're up here. I'm going to face you for just a minute so you can see. Weight is right here, palm facing forward, keeping the arm bent, bring it across the body and back up. We're going to work a slightly different muscle in this diagonal movement. So cross body down and back up. I sit on the diagonal so you can see my body from all angles. And cross down and up, cross down and up, cross down and up, cross down and up. Let's try that with the other side. Up on half that goalpost arm, palms facing forward, holding my weight loosely, and cross body and return. Cross body and return. Cross body and return, and cross and return. Let's go back to that first arm, and let's do starting right here. And we're going to take it across and then lift 1, 2, 3. Cross down on 1, lift 1, 2, 3. Cross 1, lift 1, 2, 3. Cross down on 1, lift 1, 2, 3. Down for 2 and up for 2. Down 1, 2 and lift for 2. Cross down for 2 and lift. And down and lift. And down and lift. One more. And lift. Let's lower for 3 and lift quickly. 1, 2, 3 and lift. 1, 2, 3 and lift. 1, 2, 3 and lift. Last 1, 2, 3 and lift. Relax. Let's do that with the left arm. We'll do our 3 sets of 4 with the alternating counts, starting in the upright goalpost position. Here we go. Across the body and then lift 1, 2, 3. And cross, lift 1, 2, 3. Cross, lift 1, 2, 3. And cross, lift 1, 2, 3. Down for 2 and up for 2. 1, 2 right here and up for 2, down for 2, up for 2, down for 2 and up for 2. Last 1 for 2 and up for 2. Down for 3 counts and then up quickly. 1, 2, 3 and up. 1, 2, 3 and up. 1, 2, 3 and up. 1. This is the last one. 3 and up. Yeah, that was a tough one, right? Woo! You're gonna love this one then. So we're starting with the goalpost arm, and we can do them both together. And we're just gonna take them down and back up, right? So we're just sort of doing a kind of like a waving of our arms, rotating down and back up. Rotate down and lift back up. Down, lift back up. Down, lift back up. Let's just do 4 more of these. I'm not going to go through the alternating counts. I think we've stressed our shoulders considerably this morning with the new diagonal exercises. Down and lift. Down and lift. Oh, but wait, there's one more we can do from this position. Oh, how could I forget? How about bringing them in together and open? Yeah, that feels so good. So let's do 8 of those. In together and open. And 3. And open. Sit up nice and tall. And open. And open. 4 more. And 3. 2 more. Last one. Excellent. All right. With our weights down by our hips, forget what body parts are this morning. Lift the shoulders, roll to the back. So we're doing some gentle shoulder rolls, but we're doing them weighted. Okay. So that's kind of a new feeling. We often do these shoulder rolls in our warm up just so we can get things moving, but we've been moving. So now we can add a little bit of pressure to this range of motion if that's comfortable for you. And if not, don't use the weights. And remember, with range of motion exercises, to modify, just make them smaller. So you don't have to make giant circles with your shoulders. I've reversed directions in case you missed that cue that I probably didn't give you. 4 more to the front. And 3. And 2. Last one. All right, I want you to lean forward, bracing your elbow on your, just above your knee, hinging forward slightly. We're going to do some biceps extensions, or triceps extensions. Sorry, that's the muscle on the back of the arm. I know what they are. It's just my mouth isn't working this morning. And we're going to just extend out and in, keeping that elbow nice and high. And the elbow is toward the back. So if you looked at me from the front, you would see that the elbow is behind my body. So when I'm doing this triceps work, my elbow is not hanging out here somewhere in the middle in space, but it's really pressed behind my shoulder. And extend, and I'm banging into the chair. So I'm going to just turn slightly and extend and release. Extend and in. I'm keeping the palm of my hand facing toward my body as I'm doing this. Out and in. Out and in. We're just going to do 8 on each side, and then we will begin our stretching and cool down. And out and in. 4 more. And 3. 2 more. Last one. All right, let's turn and do this on the other side. So first we brace our body with the arm that we're not using, placing the elbow just above the knee. And we're going to press that elbow to the back, and it's nice and high. I have my weight right here by my waist. Palm is facing in toward my body, and I extend and bend, taking it out and in, out and in, extend and bend, take it out and in, extend and in. 4 more. I'm sure you're breathing along with me and you're not squeezing your weights, right? Because we don't want our hands to hurt later, and then you're going to wonder, oh, what's wrong with my hands? Out and in. 1 more. Out and in. Excellent. All right, we're going to put those weights down. And inhale. Oh, it feels so good. Release. Inhale. Reaching up overhead. Feel that stretch all the way through the length of your spine, all the way through your arms and shoulders. And release. I'm going to just put my weights off to the side because I'm tripping over them, and we're finished with them for the day. Need a little bit of water. All right, here we are. And reach up, overhead. And we're going to hinge forward all the way, reaching down as far as you can reach. Allow your head to fall forward. Feel that stretch, the length of your spine. And then taking your hands and placing them just above your knees, on your thighs. Use your arms to press yourselves back up into a seated position. Inhale up. And we're going to hinge forward again, hinging from the hips all the way forward. Go wherever your flexibility through your hips will allow you, whatever is comfortable. If you can lay down on your thighs and allow your hands to drop forward toward your feet or the floor or the middle of your calf or wherever is comfortable for you. And then allow your head to just drop and hang right here, feeling that full-on stretch through your back. And placing your hands above your knees, push your body back up into a seated position. Let's do some neck stretches, ear to the shoulder, same side. So I have my right ear to my right shoulder. My face is facing forward. Top of the head is out toward the corner of the room. And I'm feeling that stretch along the other side of my body, the other side of my neck. Feel that right here. And release. Let's take the left ear to the left shoulder. Continue facing forward and continue breathing right along with me. Feel that stretch from the ear to the shoulder on this side. And release. Let's take our, we'll do our clock stretches for our neck, which what that means is we use our eyes as a guide and we imagine that we are looking to the side at 3 o'clock and then we are looking up at 12 o'clock, but we are careful not to crunch the back of our neck. We look over toward 3 o'clock and back down towards 6. And allow your head to just follow you as your eyes gaze toward 3, up toward 12, over toward 9, and back down towards 6. So we are possibly going in the right direction first as we go toward 3, looking with our eyes and allowing our head to follow up overhead at 12, around to the side at 9, and back down towards 6. Now let's reverse direction. So we're going to start around toward the left, looking over this way at 9, up toward 12, to the side toward 3, and back down towards 6. 2 more clock circles, same direction. To the side, up overhead at 12, back down at 3, and back to 6. 1 more. Over to the side at 9, up overhead at 12, over and around on this side at 3, and back down at 6. Allow your head to just fall right here and kind of hang. Feel that stretch up the back of the neck, in, down a little bit in through the shoulders and the upper back, and release. And let's do a gentle breathing meditation today and give ourselves some positive, give our bodies some positive feedback for this workout that we just did. So sitting up nice and tall in your chair and being comfortable wherever you are, just gradually become aware of your breathing. And since we're sitting, if it's comfortable for you to close your eyes today, you can close your eyes and just listen to my voice. And if it's not comfortable to close your eyes, find a gazing spot in front of you. So a spot on the wall or the floor, but something that's comfortable for you to look at while you begin to focus just on your breathing and the awareness of how wonderful it is that breathing is something that just happens naturally and automatically without us thinking about it. Become aware of the rate and depth of your own breathing. Hopefully, after our exercise session, you're not too out of breath. If your body feels the need to take a large breath and sigh, do as your body leads you to do. Every now and then I find myself needing a big, like a cleansing breath almost. So I try to be very mindful and follow those urges. When my body says, take a big breath, I try and do that. I'm thankful that I am able. I listen with love to my body's messages. Think about what that means. Your body gives you signs all the time. Signs that you're thirsty, signs that you're hungry, signs that maybe you're too full or you ate something that wasn't good for you. Think about those signs and listen to them. I am willing to learn something new every day. And I'm willing to learn something new about my body. This body has been with me for over 60 years, and I'm still learning new things about it every day. And that's just such a wonderful thing. I accept all parts of myself, all parts of my body and my mind. And I am patient with my body and its growth. And I'm happy that I'm able to learn new things every day and put them into practice and share them with you in our wonderful exercise sessions. So I thank you for being with me, and I'm going to approach the screen now so that I can share with you my closing slides. I'll be coming up this way, and I'll be sharing my screen. There we go. Thank you so much again for joining me today. I love that you were all able to be here and we could work out together. And one of the best ways that you can thank myself and any of the other guides here at Get Set Up is by sharing your experience. And if you are a user of social media, you can use the hashtag #GetSetUp, or you can use @GetSetUp on certain social medias. And if you don't use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or any of those, please feel free to email Liz at getsetup.io. She is the receiver of all the information from the learners, and she comes up with stories and shares things on social media. So if you have pictures or stories or anything else that you would like to share with Liz, she would love to hear your feedback. And some related classes that you might want to look for that will also get you moving are the Ageless Grace Exercises for the Body and Mind class, and any of the line dancing classes that are now available or have been available and are quite a bit of fun. My next class tomorrow is the combo training. It's the bottom one here on my list. Thursday morning, today's Wednesday. Thursday morning, morning fitness is combo training. So that's a little bit of everything. And we do that in a circuit training format. So it's lots of fun. And instead of counting things, we time things. So that's kind of interesting. Keeps me on my toes. And then Friday morning's class is balance and flexibility. That's a standing class with the optional use of chair. Sometimes we do an exercise that's called sit down and stand up. So we use the chair for that. be on the lookout for the email that will come from today's class. It comes from Get Set Up, and it includes my notes about the class, and it will also give you an opportunity to provide your feedback by showing you. There will be a link, and it will take you to this feedback form, which will allow you to provide feedback for myself as a guide and for Get Set Up. And we do look at the feedback. I read all the feedback. So thank you for doing that. Please do spread the word about learning with Get Set Up. Tell your family, your friends, your neighbors, your community. We really would like to have lots of more members learning just like you are. Perhaps you'd like to host an interest group. Please just let us know. We welcome having our learners hosting these different interest groups. Suggest a class that you might like to see on Get Set Up. And know that we partner with assisted care, senior living, government and community organizations. You can request a session recording and share your ideas by emailing help@getsetup.io. And if you're still looking for navigating tips on navigating the new website, look for Marv's class called Tips and Tricks to Navigating Get Set Up's new look. So again, thank you very much. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
See you all tomorrow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You
Bye.
too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.